Hello, hello, hello everyone. I hope we are doing well. I hope we are so excited. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, type something in the chat section. Type something in the chat section. Hello there. I can't see anything. Are you able to hear me? Hello, everyone. Oh yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Welcome to this webinar. We are so excited to have everyone joining us. I hope you're excited. You can comment down where you're watching from, which country. You can type down. Yes, welcome. This webinar is for those looking for opportunities in Germany. We are going to be diving into the requirements, getting to know what is required, what is necessary, how you can apply, and all that. Me with you, I'm called Lydia Chivumbi. I'm a Ugandan, and I'm from Zentrix Africa Technology Institute. It's it's an institute which provides you with online education, no matter the location where you are. It's online, completely online. It empowers you with skills, and the good thing about it, after the study period, we are able to get for you a placement for internship, so you are able to practice on projects, work on projects, and then go out there in internships to work on real world problems. And also, I'm part of the Qollix Tech Community. If you're there from Qollix, comment down. I want to see some emojis. Qollix Community, some emojis, send in some emojis. Yes, Qollix, it's a platform that joins together the tech talent with the companies. It bridges that gap. It brings together. It's an intermediary platform where tech talent can join with the companies. So, not talking much. Everyone is gathered here for a purpose. You want to dive into getting to know what is required, what do we need to understand about German jobs, how to get them, and we'll be diving to all that. It will go at first to here. We have our guests from Germany. They'll be taking us through all that, and towards the end of this session, we'll be having Q&A where you ask any question where you didn't understand. Maybe she explained something and you didn't understand it, or she didn't talk about something that you need to understand. So towards the end, we'll be understanding all that. You'll be dropping in your questions and she'll be able to answer you. So without wasting much of your time, here with us, we have our guest from Germany, Denika with us. We asked Denika and Elisha. We are so happy to have you guys with us for your time. We are so excited to hear with you, with the community. They are so excited to have you, and they are waiting. They want to hear from you. Drop in some love for our guest community. Drop in some love. Send some emojis. Yes, without further ado, I'll hand it over to our guest to take over. And then you can, Elisha, you can take over.
Hi. I don't know if you can hear me or see me. I think Kenny is now joining.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Who is in charge of the screen? I don't know. Is it Lydia or who?
Oh, I think I can do it.
You're
Yes,
managing this. Okay,
you.
perfect. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Sadly, I can't see your faces. But I would like to see you guys. Just use the chat box. So let's have a quick check-in before I introduce myself. Um, Before you think about Germany, how would you describe Germany? Maybe in one word. I would like you guys to use the chat box. Lydia, is the chat box open? If
Yes,
you
it's open.
open, perfect. Okay. If you had to describe Germany in one word, I can't see the responses. I don't know. I'd like to see your comment. If you had to describe in Germany as a country in one word, what would that be? Guys, I can't see your response. I don't know why. Lydia, are people commenting?
Yes, they are.
Okay. I can't see the response. I don't know if it's from my end.
I
October
can't
1st.
see responses
Okay.
either.
I can see the Denika's comments, but I can't see the comment from the audience. I don't know why. Somebody said, okay, Germany is known for innovation. Thank you, Arinda. Thank you for sharing. Somebody said language barrier, opportunity, your dream country, amazing, perfect place to work. Thank you, wisdom. All right, thank you for sharing. My second question would be, would you prefer to work online from Africa, where you are, or you prefer to work um, in Germany? Will you prefer to, come and work in Germany, or you can work remotely for a German country? What would you prefer? I would like to see your responses. Can you guys share on the comment section? Would you prefer to work maybe remotely with a German country? Somebody said online. Thank you, Amina Ibrahim, for sharing online. Who else want to share? I'd like to see more people engage. Would you prefer to work remotely, or would you like to come to Germany? Musa said online. I was recently in a conference in Nigeria, and I think a lot of people are now interested in working remotely. The remote work culture is becoming much more interesting. Sandy said online. Danjuma said in person. Okay. Thank you for sharing. So my last question would be, which one skill you would like to master if you want to maybe boost, I don't know why this typo error, sorry. If you want to boost your tech career, which one skill would you like to master? If you want to boost your tech career, which one skill would you like to master? Um, I've seen a lot of remote. So let's go to the third question. I'm asking now, if you were to learn one skill, thank you. Somebody said ethical hacking. Wow. Somebody said software engineering, data science. Kabiru said storytelling. Amazing. I like people are very engaged. Thank you for sharing. This is super, super cool. Somebody said the data analysis, data protection. Amazing. All right. Thank you for sharing. So I think we can officially start the section. So I will start by introducing myself. So my name is Kenny. I consider myself to be Pan African. However, I was born and brought up in Nigeria. So if you're in Nigeria, you can just make some noise in the house. So I was born, I would say I'm from Nigeria, but before now, I have lived in multiple African countries. That is why I said myself to be Pan African. I lived in Ivory Coast for 1 year, 6 months, worked in Tanzania for 1 year, and then I worked in Uganda for 2 years. So I can proudly call four countries my home in Africa: Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Tanzania, and then Uganda. However, I've been to more than 20 African countries. West Africa, I've been to a lot of countries in West Africa, Burkina Faso, Ghana, just name it, Liberia. Also traveled around East Africa, South Sudan, Kenya, Rwanda. Yeah, I can see the Nigerians are making too much of noise. It's okay. Yeah, so before now, I live in Germany. I work with Dedenika. She's also from the UK. We both work with TerraTalent. I will allow her to introduce herself before we start the section. And I work as a talent consultant from Germany. Maybe Dedenika, you want to introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Danica. As Kenny just said, I'm from Manchester in the UK, to be specific. I've been living in Germany now for 2 years, and I've been working here at TerraTalent for about a year and 4 months of that now. I also work here as a talent ability consultant. I'm not quite as well traveled as Kenny. I'm mostly based. I've been to a couple of European countries, but it was a bit random to come and move to Germany. That was probably the most international I've been. But thank you. um, my accent seems to have neutralized since coming to Germany, because
Yeah.
usually my dialect and like my Northern English dialect, like people can't understand me. So now I have this weird neutral accent, but thanks. But yeah, it's really exciting to be here, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Dedenika, yeah. I see you have some fans already who love your accent. Yeah, so today is gonna be very interesting section. So if you're a young person here and you feel like you want to build your career globally, it doesn't matter if you want to work in Germany or you want to work remotely, then this section is for you because you're gonna be having an idea into the tech landscape in Germany. What are those kind of jobs in Germany? How to even find these jobs, where to apply. And of course, you get to know about TerraTalent, our vision, and why we are doing what we are doing. So once again, thank you so much, Lydia and your team, for helping and organizing this section. Let's appreciate these amazing guys from Zentrix Africa. And I like the name Zentrix Africa because it's cut across the whole continent. Next slide. So we have a lot of partners across Africa, mostly I would say in Kenya, in Nigeria, of course, in Ghana, Rwanda, and of course Uganda. So these are some of our partners in Africa. As you can see, Collaborate is Uganda. We have Black in Tech here in Germany. We have Momoringa in Kenya, TechWest in Nigeria, Utiva. So we have a lot of amazing partners that we have been working with in the last 1 year plus since we started this company. So TerraTalent, can you go to the next slide, is a young consultancy company based in Germany. And we are also an international team. And we also have a very strong network across Europe, like in Denmark, the Netherlands, Italy, also the Scandinavia countries as well. So if you are much more interested in building your career, not only in Germany, but also in some of these countries in Europe, then we got your back. We've got you guys covered. So this is a very interesting company trying to build a strong network. But most importantly, our vision is to see how we can connect African talents to German companies, and not just companies in Germany, but across Europe as a region. Next slide. So in a nutshell, I would like to give you an overview about Germany. I started this section by asking you what you think about Germany. Some people said innovation, some people said engineering, some people said opportunity, some people said Bayern Munich for football, the Oktoberfest, innovation. A lot of people were saying a lot of things about Germany, which we are all correct. But Germany is a very aging populated country. So the average working age in Germany is around 55. What does this mean? In the next 5 years, Germany will lose over 30% of its workforce. So that means there's a huge demand for labor in Germany. There's a huge demand. So this is something you should know about Germany. And the country is over 80 million in population, if I'm correct, and close to 30 million of the economic labor force will reach retirement age in the next 15 years. This is insane. So there is a need for 500,000 of workers every single year to fill this gap. So this is to give you the huge potential of Germany as a country. As you can see, that means for every single year, 500,000 of workers is needed to fill the gap. So there's a huge gap. And Africa's, on the other hand, is a huge population of young people, right? So that is why we see Africa as a potential place to partner to get talents that will fill this gap in Germany. Next slide. And this is to give you the landscape about the German tech ecosystem. So one of the biggest, not only in Europe, but in the world globally, we can say Germany is one of the largest ICT markets globally. This sector alone, just the tech sector, has employed over 1 million professionals. As of today, we have close to 200,000 vacancies in this sector, just the tech sector. And if you talk about the net worth, over 80 billion euros is generated by mid-sized companies in IT. I know this looks like a lot of money, but the question you should be asking yourself is how do you tap into these opportunities, right? So this is to give you some of the key facts and numbers, how huge the IT sector is in this country. Next slide. And when you talk about the trending tech jobs in Germany, we have a lot of jobs in Germany. There is a UI UX. So if you're a UI UX designer, if you're a full stack, if you want to do software engineering, AI engineer is already becoming a big trend, blockchain, cybersecurity. So there's a huge demand. So from this point, I will pass the baton to Danica to share more insight about this kind of sector, the tech landscape in Germany.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks for the introduction. As obviously Kenny said, there is a lot of potential here in Germany, and there are a lot of vacancies, and tech is, a massively just growing industry. But of course, it's really nice to say, like, yes, there are hundreds of thousands of opportunities and all of these billions of euros and stuff like this, but obviously there are still hurdles get into the jobs and the industries and stuff like that. But before we get into that, I'm going to carry on with the trending tech jobs. So here, as Kenny just mentioned, here are just a few examples of some kind of in-demand tech jobs here in Germany. But here at the bottom, I provided a few, Bitkom, the Startup Verband. And these are kind of initiatives to connect international talents with companies in Germany as well. So, for example, the Bitkom is a digital hub initiative, and this connects startups, established businesses, and research institutions across Germany to foster communication and essentially connect you with companies. So here you can use the website to learn about different hubs and how to connect with German tech companies. And and it's also a place where you can inquire about potential collaborations, internships, job openings, and this is specifically for tech. The Startup Verband is the German Startups Association, and this represents startups, and it's in the name Startup Verband. And this is essentially kind of the same thing. It provides a platform for networking, resources, and support. And here you can also gain insights into the German startup ecosystem. And the Startup Verband 2, as I'll be mentioning later on, not only do you apply online for jobs, but you also do have to do a bit of networking, a bit of directly contacting the companies or potential recruiters. And this can also be done through job fairs. And the Startup Verband hosts online virtual events and pitch sessions. And this is where international talent can then connect with German startups seeking tech talent. They also have a job board too, which if you go on the website is pretty easy to find. To look into specific geographical areas of the different industries in Germany. So here I've provided a few, but obviously we're going to focus on IT and tech. So this is these are examples of different cities serving as key hubs for various industries. So as you can see, I've provided logistics, supply chain, semiconductor, electronics, aerospace, and aviation. And there are certain areas in Germany where a lot of these big companies are concentrated. So, for example, in IT and tech, I've provided Berlin, Munich, Hamburg, Stuttgart, and Frankfurt. And there are a few, these are quite large companies, SAP, Siemens, Zalando. You've probably heard of some of these. You've probably heard of Siemens, for example. But I think it's like also it's important to when you're considering your job search, to think about where you're applying and where is probably best to find these industry hubs and where these businesses are concentrated. So this is essentially a breakdown of that. But it's also crucial to consider the wider industry landscape of Germany. So these are examples of businesses in Germany. So as mentioned already, as on the last slide, these were mostly corporates. So Siemens, SAP, Volkswagen, BMW. But if we look at the total number of employees in Germany, it's around 46 million. And about 45% of these work in these big corporations. But I think the SMEs are really the backbone of the German industry, and a lot of people don't really like when people are coming from abroad and they're looking for they're doing their job search in Germany. They typically go for the huge corporations, but the SMEs are pretty relatively unknown, but they are definitely an important area to look at when it comes to finding opportunities in Germany. So these are moderately sized companies. They have less than 1,000 employees, but they account for around 56% of Germany's economic output, and generating around 2 trillion euros in 2022. So they also employ around 55% of the total workforce, which is around 19 million people. And they're also really important when it comes to, say, vocational training. I think they provide around 70% of all apprenticeships in Germany. So if you're looking to not only come for job opportunities, but also for internship studying, the SMEs are also really important to look at. So there I've provided 5 examples, so Wirth, Wiesmann, and Trumpf, Razor Group, and Finn. So Wirth, for example, specializes in like screws and assembly, but these are examples of SMEs, and these are also companies that are looking for tech talent and tech professionals. So the SMEs are very important. But as said already, as I mentioned before, this is about the job fairs. So the SMEs typically don't really advertise their vacancies on, the large job boards. So they typically you can really miss out on opportunities if you're only applying on job boards. So as mentioned already, with Bitkom and the Startup Verband, there are many virtual events where you can network with these SME companies that are looking for tech talent. So that leads me to my next slide, is where to find the tech jobs. So as said, as many job opportunities are never publicly advertised, it's important for you to utilize industry events and direct applications. So here's just a few examples of what you can use. So these are examples of where you can connect to recruiters, startups, research institutions. So, for example, AI Berlin is a hub for AI startups. So if any of you is skilled in AI, then this is somewhere where you would look. And this is essentially as a network for connecting with other AI companies and people skilled in AI. And the Hannover Messe is a huge messe here in Germany, but this is just one example of a messe. So messe is a job fair. And this is just one example of job fairs, but as mentioned already, obviously the virtual ones, the online ones would be better for you guys. I can't imagine it's that easy for you to come over for a job fair. But yeah, and there's a Berlin location center. So this is also something like if you're on the ground to connect with local businesses. And there's also there, we are developers, and the other link there is Meetup. And these are also other platforms where you can network. So the We Are Developers is a platform that hosts live events. So this is where also you can also look for virtual job fairs. And Meetup is also used for the same kind of thing, but Meetup is also used for everything. So even if you're on the ground in Germany and you're looking to, find, like-minded people, find friends, a book club or a sports club or whatever it may be, Meetup is also used for that. So it's just essentially a large online community for finding like different bubbles, but you can also connect with companies and recruiters and other people within your field of work through these sites as well. And so this is these are the largest job sites in Germany. So Indeed, Stepstone, greenjobs.de, and the Bundesagentur für Arbeit. So obviously, as I said already, the SMEs don't typically, they do, of course, but like a lot of job vacancies aren't published on these websites. So networking is important. But having said that, obviously these job sites are, if you want to connect, with the larger companies, or if you want to have a basic idea of what kind of vacancies there are, what kind of salaries you can expect, you can use these sites, and especially on the Bundesagentur für Arbeit. On the main page there, I don't know if you can see, my screen is quite small, but I don't know if you can see there, you can even click on the different industries. So it provides all the different industries. So if you're looking at, say, tech, then you go and look for the specific tech industry, and then there it'll come up with all the different jobs. And you can tailor it to like remote jobs if you're interested in remote work, or if you're interested in like moving to Germany, you can also tailor it to that too. And Stepstone does the same thing. You can also focus only on remote jobs and see what kind of remote jobs are available in Germany through that option. So what are the requirements for getting a job in Germany? So of course, you're looking for a tech job, you have to have your tech skills. So it depends on what kind of job you're looking for. So if you need to have if you need JavaScript, or if you need like any particular kind of coding language, or I'm not, I think you can probably tell I'm not really well versed in all the nitty gritties of tech and all the different languages and programming languages. I'm sure you're all much better than me, but obviously on the job board, you will obviously see what the job requires of you, what kind of languages they want, what kind of skills they require of you. So you'll find that on the job vacancy, on the vacancy description. But one thing that is often asked of us is if the German language is required, and this is definitely something that it depends. So typically for the larger companies, so the corporates that we just looked at, a lot of these do operate in English, and especially for if you're looking for remote work, they typically do. For remote work, they typically operate in English. Sorry, the license, I'm not moving enough. They typically operate in English. But of course, if you're looking to relocate, then German language would be beneficial to you. So if you're looking to work in like one of the SME companies, for example, German language would be at least at a B1 level, would be beneficial. But I mean, I know quite a lot of people here in Germany who do work for like the big companies like Siemens and Zalando who only speak English. So it definitely depends on the company. But it quite often says in a job description too, whether English is required or English and German is required. It's often stated there, but definitely for remote work, it's mostly English. But then also, do you need a degree? I've put there. So in most industries, you do need a formal qualification. So this is necessary. This is often necessary for the job, but also for the residence permit. So the EU Blue Card, for example, requires that you hold a recognized university degree. So a degree that's so what does like recognition mean? So this is this means that your degree is officially accepted as valid and equivalent to its German counterpart by the German authorities. But this recognition is like it's obligatory for industries like health and law, and depending on the kind of visa you're going, residence permit you're going for, is required for that. So on the next slide here at the bottom, you can see I've provided a link for Anabin. So this is a official database for foreign degrees, and this is managed by the Central Office for Foreign Education. And on this database, which is also accessible to everyone, you can search your university and the country that you got your degree in. And this would tell you if this degree course has already been evaluated, then it would come up with a H+ if it is recognized in Germany, H- if it isn't, and H+ / means it depends on the certain degree. So maybe one university has some programs that are recognized in Germany, but other programs aren't recognized. So then in this kind of situation, you would need to then look deeper and see if your specific degree is there and is recognized. However, there you can see that there are 3 different kinds of Blue Card. So the standard EU Blue Card, the shortage EU Blue Card, and the IT Blue Card. So under the requirements of the first 2, you can see that a recognized university degree is necessary. But to answer one of the questions that's just come into the chat, there is a special case for those trained in IT. If you don't have an official qualification, there is still an option for you. Sorry, excuse me. So for this, you must demonstrate that you have a specific job offer as an IT professional here in Germany, and the period of employment must be at least 6 months. As stated on your contract. Your job must also, that's a little bit out of date, so 2024, as of 2025, it's around 43,000 euros now. And you have to have worked in IT for at least 3 years of the past 7 years. And you have to have been at university, and this work has to have been at university level. So what does that mean? This means that the work experience you have has to be equivalent to the knowledge and skills that you would typically acquire in a university program. So advanced or specialized knowledge in a certain field. So this could be software development or cloud engineering or database administration, whatever that may be. So this doesn't include jobs like if you've done basic IT support or simple website maintenance or these kinds of things, which I'm pretty sure most of you or maybe all of you probably a bit more skilled in these very specialized areas. So but just to kind of summarize, there is the option for people. So if you do find a job, if you go through all the other steps of the previous slides and you do find a job, then it does have to fulfill these requirements for the IT Blue Card. So the minimum salary and the 3 years of relevant experience. And then that's when, if you don't have an official degree or a formal qualification, then obviously your experience works, but it obviously has to be relevant experience and good experience. So yeah, I hope that was informative, and it brings me to the end of my part. And then Kenny's going to come back and just have a quick talk about TerraTalent and how TerraTalent can then support you. So yeah, if you're still there, Kenny. Okay.
Sorry. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think there's a lot of opportunities in Germany, as Denica has shared. Like there's so much that you guys can benefit more. So I'm happy I'm seeing a lot of questions. So I will allow Denica take the questions because she's more expert in this topic. But before then, we have our talent services. So this talent services is designed for people who have talent, who want to, explore the German labor market. So we can help you understand the market, where to apply for these jobs. We can even help you throughout the whole job application process. Then we can also help you in customizing your CV up to the German standards, as well as your cover letter. Also, something that is also very important is in terms of culture, yeah, because the culture here is very different compared to the culture in Africa. By culture, I mean the work culture, the work ethics, the work environment. So this is something we can also help you in terms of cultural adaptation. We can also provide you a lot of networking opportunities where you can connect with startups, employers, communities like Black in Tech, and also accommodation support, even the whole visa processes, the requirements. And for those of you who feel like you don't want to come through jobs, you want to maybe apply for masters like me, I came here through my studies. Then we can support you through the master's application. And mind you, here is tuition free. We have a lot of tuition free universities. So you don't have to pay school fees, but you might need to have some money in your account. So it can help you through this whole process of applying for masters and also scholarships. So this is just to give you an overview of our talent services. So you have the QR code on the screen. As you can see, when you scan this QR code, it will give you more information. You can see how to contact us and we can see how to support you. So because we can't give everything in the webinar, so yeah, you can get one-on-one support where we can put you through the whole process. So if you want to really do something and create a career, then you can make sure you scan the QR code. And of course, we run free master classes every month that you can also join. But for now, if you just want to enjoy the talent services and go beyond this, then you can scan the QR code. So, Dedenika, I would like to take the questions.
Yeah, just to also add on from that, Kenny mentioned that we do monthly webinars, and in these sessions we tackle these kinds of subjects. So the next one we're doing is actually studying in Germany. This is one that I'm hosting at the end of the month. I think it's on the 26th of March. But I'll have to confirm that. And this goes into like all the different information that one may need if they want to come study in Germany. And but we tackle all kinds of different subjects. So we also have many on our YouTube channel. So we tackle finding a job in Germany, writing a CV, writing a motivation letter, the different visas. I did one a few months ago about the opportunity card, for example. This is another one that we will repeat. I'll do that again in another few months. So we do tackle a lot of different subjects, because obviously it's really hard, like even each of like these specific subjects like that have been mentioned today can be spoken about much more for an extra half an hour on each topic, for example. So it's really hard to kind of try and cover everything. So yeah, just so you know about that. But there is a part on our website where you can find the different topics that we'll be talking about. But yeah, let me just have a look at some of the questions. One moment.
I saw one in question. I can take did this one. It says, must your degree be tech related before you can apply for a tech job? The answer is no. So you just need to have the skills. You have to have a very good portfolio. You have to have work on some projects. These are the most important thing you need before you can apply for a tech job. Number one, let me say it again, you need to have the right skill sets. You need to have a very good portfolio. That means you work on projects before with a lot of experiences. Then this is sufficient enough for you to have a tech job. If you have some certification, of course, that would be very, very good. For example, maybe recognized certification. This can also help you as a plus. But overall, your skills is what makes you stand out if you want to get a tech job as well as your experiences. Yeah, I think that is the first question I can take. Do you want to take the
Yes.
next question?
So about the visa sponsorship. So the visa sponsorship is typically, this is your company, this is your HR department, this is your recruiter, for example, applying for a visa on your behalf. There is a system in Germany, and I think definitely in these tech jobs, there is a fast track system. So this means that when you go, you get a job in Germany, and this is if you relocate, then your employer can then apply for your visa going through the fast track system. So this is, this is something that your employer will do. They apply on your behalf. This is what my employer did for me, for example, and it's much quicker. So when I first came here as an au pair. This was like the easiest way for me to get here. And this visa was really hard for me to get. It took me about 8 months to get this visa. But then as soon as I got this job, if you're here with typically, with a German business, German company, it's much easier to go through the fast track system, because obviously Germany does want to bring people over. And this is one of the reasons why they have this fast track system, because obviously the Ausländerbehörden, the immigration offices, are just being overflooded with applications. So this is a specific way for German companies to fast track those applications. I don't know.
Just to add, to what Dedanika shared, if you want to maybe try your luck with the visa sponsorship jobs, then you might need to target international companies. There are a lot of them on LinkedIn, but most importantly, it's very competitive. So you must really have a very good portfolio, a good resume, and good application. Yeah, we've seen a lot of people who got the jobs directly from Africa, like Kenya, Nigerian, South Africans. So you need to target this kind of big companies like SAPs, international firms, and the rest. Then you get this kind of visa sponsorship jobs. Just to add to what Denika shared here.
Thank you. I don't know what you mean about explain more on the work contract. This is this with regards to your salary, or if you could elaborate a bit more on that. Cost of living in Germany. So it depends on where you live in Germany. So for example, if you live in one of the big city states, for example, this is Berlin, Hamburg, not so much Bremen, but Bremen is also a little bit more on the expensive side. These city states do offer higher salaries in comparison to other areas of Germany because of the higher living costs. So it's kind of to account for that. In the West, for example, so in North Rhine-Westphalia or Rhineland-Pfalz, or these kind of areas, they also offer higher salaries. It's also a bit more expensive in that side. Sorry, the light keeps going off. But if you move to the East, for example, the East is a little bit cheaper. But I think the average, the average costs, like the outgoing costs per month, I think it's around, I don't know, 900 euros or 1,000. But I don't know if this is for students, but I'll have to look that up. But this is like typically the average, but it definitely depends on like, where you're living and how extravagantly you want to live or how frugal you want to live. Housing, I mean, Berlin is getting a bit more expensive. This is one thing that a lot of people do complain about. Rents are increasing, just as everywhere else. Food is also another thing that is increasing, and and medication is, and this is like, we have a health insurance system. But I think like with your salaries is pretty, I think especially within the tech industry, these jobs are paid quite well. But it definitely, it does depend. And does it necessarily have to be a university degree, or a recognized tech certificate is also valid? So as mentioned already, it's for the IT Blue Card, you don't need to have a recognized university degree. So you do have to have relevant work experience. So this is 3 years relevant work experience in the past 7 years. But this also has to be work experience that is similar to like what the kind of skills you would acquire in a university degree. But if you're able to prove that you have this good experience, this good portfolio, and you need the minimum salary, which is 43,000 euros for the IT Blue Card, then you would qualify. But I think that's the questions that have been asked so far. But if there aren't any more questions, then I'd give the floor back to Lydia. But thank you everyone for listening. And what experience level? Oh, there's one more. What experience level is required? Junior, mid-level, senior level. So I mean, you could also come as like a junior. With junior skills, but it also, I mean, it depends on what kind of roles you're looking for. But like, say if you have good experience, but you're coming here as like a junior software developer or something, that also works. I mean, this isn't simply IT maintenance in an office or something like that. These are still tech skills, but it's not like that you have to only come immediately as like senior level with senior level skills. It's not like that. You could come here with junior level skills too. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope it was pretty informative or informative enough. Thank you for listening, your attention, and for being active in the comments. It's really cool. But I'll give the floor back to Lydia if she's still there.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that insight, for the information. I hope the community, the people have understood, taken in. Thank you, Danica and Ken Elisha. Thank you for this. We are so blessed. People show some love, send in some emojis, show some love. Yes, all this is recorded, and if you need to review it, you can find the recordings will be uploaded. And if you're not in the Qollix community, you can join in. I think the link will be added in the comment section. You can join anytime. If you are having more questions, feel free to send them in the community group. The WhatsApp group is there. You can send in the questions and get answers about them. So I think we've come to the end of this webinar, this session. I hope you you've gotten what your questions have been answered about what is required, how you can start applying, where to look for. All your questions have been answered. And once again, thank you so much, Danik and Elisha. Thank you so much for the information shared.
Thank you for the invite. It was really great to be here. Really nice to meet you and meet some people in your community as well. That's really cool.
You're welcome. I would like to wish everyone, thank you for your time, for connecting. I know you had many things to do, but you left it to come and join us. Thank you for joining us. Have a blessed time. Bye-bye. See you next time.
Have a great day. Thank you.